Do you have one?
No, I
Horror
just
podcasts
realized I
are
forgot
my
to hit the
jam.
start recording button. So this episode will be very short on the YouTube. I apologize to all the viewers jumping in just now. Oh man.
It's fine, probably.
Yeah, we're figuring it out.
Uh, but yeah, I would recommend podcast wise, depending on what you're looking at. Sounds like you're going for more of an urban vibe.
Yeah, urban
Um,
fantasy for one of them, and then kind of like a survival horror for the other.
okay. I was gonna say like the Magnus Archives is a biggie, a classic. I love urban horror or urban fantasy sort of horror. But if you want to like take a dip into like isolationist sort of
Mm-hmm.
vibes, the White Vault is definitely my main audio
Ooh.
drama suggestion. Their sound production is like chef's kiss. It takes place in Svalbard because that was all the rage in podcasts for a while, which is like super fuck off north midnight sun
Oh,
thing.
that's the place where you don't need a visa, right?
That follows. It didn't mention it in. Yes,
Okay.
it did. It
Oh.
didn't mention it in the
It's
podcast, but I
super
would not be
isolated
surprised.
Nordic, and it's like the
Uh
only.
huh.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the yeah. You don't need a visa to live there. It's like one of the only places in the world you can do that.
Right, like why would you want to go there essentially? But no, it's very cool. Like I said, very isolationist. Has like a lot of really cool world building. First two seasons are still definitely the best. No spoilers, but the third season's a little rocky. The fourth one makes it worth it.
Hmm.
But yeah, group of people sent to repair a remote. What do you want, Remy? A remote station, like data collecting station, and then spooky things happen. Don't do what I did and start listening to it. Oh, that's the other one. But yes, don't do what I did and start listening to it alone in a large dark church um, in like October when the wind's all whistly and things creak funny and you're walking through a giant sanctuary all alone in the dark.
Oh.
And Ghost
No.
Wax. Ghost Wax is where you want to go. It's a necromancer who takes statements from the dead to find out what supernatural thing killed them so he can address the situation.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So it is very cool. It also has some good sound design, which it actually works into the ideas like essentially the psychic experience of the ghost causes the sound effects, and that's why they're caught on they record on wax cylinders. So that's why it's called ghost wax. Um,
Oh.
so it's the psychic impression of the ghost causes these sound effects to happen. And if you didn't think that toenail clippers were scary sounds, you haven't listened to Ghost Wax yet.
I I am excited to know the context that like the
Oh,
nail clippers
it's
come in.
it's a pretty early episode, so you should find out pretty quickly. Don't listen
Nice.
to that in Big Empty Church either.
Yeah, I've like to be honest, like I've always had like a thing for like horror. I once did like a horror parody project for like D&D which really let me get my it let me reference like a bunch of like folklore stuff, but it also let me like deep dive into like stuff that gives people the willies, which I will not get into. But I did hear like a lot of positive feedback where I do remember one person told me, yes, the thing that you have made is too scary. So try again. This is a parody.
You
Um,
succeeded too much. Please,
yeah,
please dial it back a little.
because I remember like the artist that we hired for that well, one of the artists that we hired for that project, they did like the first draft and I was like, it's beautifully horrifying and terrifying, and the response was yes, 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 we again parody.
No.
So
Put a birthday
but
cap on it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Give it a
fine.
little
It's
red clown
fine.
nose. Call it a day, man. Throw a parasol in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact: Remy's favorite movie series is Friday the 13th. Isn't it,
Oh.
Remy?
Ooh.
Yeah, she gets very excited by the music that plays when teenagers are getting murdered. Yes, it's her favorite part. Her favorite is Jason Goes to Hell, for the record.
Ah, not Jason in space. Are you kidding?
No, she just prefers the music apparently.
I love Jason in
Yeah.
Space.
It's solid. I've seen it by all
It's
means. I've seen all of them
crazy
except for the
good.
new remakes. So, but anyway, so
Uh,
yes, I'm very proud of you for being too good at horror, Akeem.
I have
Yep, yep.
I got a podcast recommendation as well, though it's nothing to do with horror. It's called My Mama Told Me, and I want to also acknowledge I am pretty sure I'm not the target demo for this podcast, but it's about black conspiracy theories and like a big quote around that because like some of it is like straight up conspiracy theories, like hair straightener is trying to kill you, which by the way I'm pretty sure it is trying to kill you. Just throwing that
It
out there,
is a pretty potent chemical to
right?
have near your face.
Yeah, and then other stuff where it's like when it's raining and the sun is shining, the devil is beating his wife. And then they just like,
I like that one.
yeah, right, like weird stuff. And then he just like spends an hour making fun of it and like doing like talking about some research around it or whatever. And it's just, like a bunch of different like comedians and actors and stuff. I found it because I ran out of Anchorman or Ron Burgundy podcast episodes, which I also strongly recommend if you liked Anchorman and enjoy the Ron Burgundy character that Will Ferrell plays. The podcast is fucking excellent. I've listened to some episodes twice. They are legitimately very funny. Um,
Yes.
yeah, but I usually listen to the news and I can't right now.
This
So
is a bad time to
yeah,
be listening
Yeah.
to news.
I mean I still tune in occasionally, but not like just like 10 minutes a day maybe. Like, I can't. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and
Part
then
of the fun of being a geek is that you're able to kind of like separate from the world just because sometimes you need to.
yeah,
Mhm.
uh, yeah.
Also, I guess my tying back into Akeem's gods in Las Vegas, my current kick of other media, I am way behind the bandwagon, has been Phoenix Immortals Rising.
Oh,
No,
I beat that the other
Immortals
fucking.
Phoenix
Oh,
Rising. Yes, there
Yeah,
we go.
it's a really
And
good game,
it's so much fun. Like
and the
the honestly, I
comedy's
think
like,
it suffered.
oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say
how
it suffered
far are
because
you?
people compared it too much to Breath of the Wild. Honestly,
Oh, yeah.
um,
yeah,
sometimes
I'm
like
playing the DLC
comparison.
now.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you got through like yeah. There's like parts where I was like like I had to stop. I was laughing so hard because like at one point
Oh yeah, no, like
Ares is like a
for folks who haven't.
chicken, and he's like,
Uh
"How am I
huh.
supposed to get Aphrodite back? Women can't marry a chicken." And then Zeus cuts in. He's like, "There's nothing illegal about that." Like it is just
Yeah. Like the main draw for folks who haven't played is that essentially this is Prometheus telling Zeus the story of the main character, and Zeus like cutting in and being himself,
but
and
it's genuinely
it's
funny.
so good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like it's like even just play the demo. The demo's free. The demo's fun. It doesn't have any spoilers. It also has Zeus and Prometheus. They talk about how Poseidon sicked the roosters of the sea on the main character.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. So yes, you can also fight chickens in addition to rescuing Ares, who is a chicken.
Um,
Which reminded me actually of the Nemean lion. There are in fact like powered up roosters and also lions and things. So. But anyway, that's my media of interest.
Steph also
And
made me
I
buy a Switch 2, so I have the Switch 2, and Donkey Kong Bonanza is it's like playing Mario
oh
Kart
yeah.
64. Like, do you remember when you
Mm.
finally got your hands on an N64 controller and you started running around and it was just like, what the fuck? Like,
And it was just mind blowing. Yes.
yes.
Yes, I went from SNES to N64, and my tiny child brain was just.
Bonanza delivers. Yeah. Sorry.
I actually was talking to someone about that game and they said that they really enjoyed it. So
We've been playing the shit out of it. I'm only on level like 7 of 17 or something. But you get rewarded
Nice.
for destroying the environment, and they brought in like pachinko designers or something because like it is just genuinely entertaining to just wreck all of the landmass. Um, and you find stuff along the way, and like oh my god, the flow of it is so good. Like oh my god. Mm. All right.
oh you.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. What were we gonna say?
no, go ahead, buddy.
Oh, I was just saying, like, I finally remembered the name of the game I was talking about. It's called No, I'm Not Human, and I was calling it Neighbors. But like, I
Oh.
hate
Neighbors,
like
I
when I
think, would
can't.
have been a better choice, honestly. Like,
Yeah, but like I had to like look it up because I was like, no, I think that's a different one. But like, no, I'm not human. That's the name of it. And I hate when people on the like on a podcast or whatever like misname a thing. So I was like, I'm gonna correct this when I find it, and
very
I
fair.
circled back. But the N64 thing, it did remind me of what was it called? Zelda, where it has like Majora's Mask when it comes to like
Mhm.
horror stuff. Because like a lot of people is like that's not horror, and somebody else is like, well,
That's definitely horror.
horror, yeah.
Did you ever play
Like if
Eternal
mhm.
Darkness: Sandy's Requiem for the GameCube?
I have heard of that, and like I remember I got really interested in it as a concept, but I did not have the GameCube.
Oh
But like I
yeah.
heard like it's supposed to be like really good, and like I got so invested in it, like I was looking at the. Yes, I'm just gonna say it. I go into TV tropes that whatever, and like
Mhm.
I go like, ooh, tell me all about like this game because like I can't find it anywhere. But
It's like
like,
fucking. It was legit or like you'd think a fly would fly on the screen, and then
Mhm.
mm,
you'd be like, oh, that's weird or whatever, and then it'd fly off, and then like another fly and then another fly, and then like suddenly the screen's filled with flies, and then like your memory card got erased. All the
mm,
What?
files. Yes,
What?
yes. This
What?
game fucked with you so hard.
No
You'd walk
it
fucking
into a
did.
room
way.
and just get decapitated, and then it would flash, and then you'd walk into the room. Like it was. It is an experience.
Hmm.
Apparently, I'm good without it. I will take your word for it.
Oh, it was
I'm
so
I'm
On,
good.
good.
on a generalized note, like I really feel like, especially like early games, like people were a lot more. I'm just gonna say like creative in terms of interactions between player and game. Like, what was it? The one with Psycho Mantis that would read like
Yeah,
your
where you
memory
had to like
card.
swap your controller. Yeah, no, like
Hmm.
experimental. There we go. It's the
Yeah,
experimental
that's
era.
that's you know what, that's exactly experimental. Like I also was one of those people who played like Jade Cocoon, which is kind of like
Jade Cocoon.
yeah, Monster Hunter, where you
JRPG,
had to
right?
like
Yeah.
switch CDs. Yeah, like you had to switch the CD inside of like the PlayStation, and it would like read the CD and give you the monster that you would bond to.
Wild.
Yeah, Monster Rancher did like the same thing, but it was also one of those things of just like, oh, what an experimental way of doing this.
Hmm. Or like,
Um,
oh, you scan barcodes and like it generates monsters and things. I think
yeah,
that's
and
just
like,
something we've lost with digital media, honestly, because like I connect via my controller via my Bluetooth. I can't plug into the player one port.
mm,
Yeah. I don't know. I
well,
I don't. I still try to get physical stuff. I went out of my way to get a physical drive PS5, and I'm
hmm,
glad I did because like the library here is awesome. So like when I want to play
Yeah,
a
I know
game,
you were talking about that. It's fucking
yeah, I just
wild.
usually rent it from the library. I'm gonna wait a while to get that Claire Obscure game because like there are a ton of holds on it. But like yeah, like why would I buy it? Like I
oh
can
yeah,
get it on the library.
It sounds rad. I haven't played it myself. I'm
I've
always at least one generation behind because I'm nostalgic and also cheap.
I have seen a friend of mine play it. Basically he'll like live stream it on Discord so like the rest of us can like watch him do it. And it's interesting, and he's very involved with like the narrative. I did not watch enough for me to know the entire narrative. I just saw like bits and pieces. I go like, "Oh, this seems super interesting."
Uh,
Um
my friend Chris has been playing through it. Rippy, if you guys remember, he also worked on Level Up with us. Um, and he was like, it's not clicking for him, but I don't think he's as into JRPGs. And also,
mm,
he said that like the story just wasn't doing it for him, and I was like, well, it's probably because it was written by French people. So,
Not sure what that means.
oh, I think we
I
all
will,
know what that means.
It's too
you know,
French.
yeah, I don't know about
I
too French,
I still
but
don't know
like,
what it means to be too French in JRPGs, but
Whoa, two friends just coming out hot. This is some.
hey, you implied. I'm
I
just
didn't say
extrapolating.
anything of the. I don't know. I don't know what you're
Mm.
talking about, bro.
Bruh.
Bruh.
but I will say like it's interesting too when you think about it. Like, there's a distinct difference in narratives between like an RPG game for like Western audiences versus like a JRPG game and like their
Oh,
narrative.
dude.
Which I kind of appreciate. Like sometimes it gets like really heady. Like I remember I was playing like I think it was Star Ocean, maybe. And I remember it was like one part where it was just like, oh, you know how like you're technically like from an advanced civilization and you crash landed on this medieval world. Yeah. But guess what? You're also a computer program. Ooh, ah. And I was just like, okay, I'm lost.
Yeah.
It's not doing it for me.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
it's when they started losing me with Final Fantasy. It was with 10. We've had this discussion. We did this talk
Well,
already.
we yeah, I was gonna
yeah.
say tune in for our special bonus Pirates of Darkwire episode for our JRPG spiel.
Yes.
Mm.
All right. Um, do we have time? Do you guys want to do any actual design talkery? Are we do that?
Uh, I'm down for a little bit more design talkery if we want.
Sure.
All right.
I forgot to grab the hat, so I am okay if we don't do Munchausen this week.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't. I don't think
Okay.
I'm ready for Munchausen. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Uh.
Putting on my design hat.
Nick Strange.
All right.
Okay, I'm
Mhm.
ready.
There's a link in the document. I don't know. I guess I can. I'm afraid to open it in the shirt. Yeah. If you go in the bottom of the Google Doc, there's a link there for 5e Advancement Evolved. So I did Epic 5e. I don't know, 5, 6 years ago. You can go check it out. Epic5e.com. It's great. It's like a rules light way to play 21st to 30th level. Um, and one day, a couple weeks ago, I was having lunch with Chris because he also happens to live right down the street, and we were talking about like, oh, how cool it would be if you like made Dungeons and Dragons like 5e, but like it was all like point buy, like when you make a Shadowrun character, right?
Mm.
Like when you're a Shadowrun character,
Hmm.
it's just like you get this many karma. It costs this much karma to gain a skill. It costs this much karma to raise the skill. Make your character. But
Right.
so like for 5e, just like from the baseline, I don't think you can. I don't think that would work. I think it's too regimented for that to function correctly. Because like also the XP requirements, right? Like so if I'm a like 6th level sorcerer or whatever, and I'm like
Mm-hmm.
doing point and click whatever resources I want. By that point, to get anything that a first level or like a lower level character would have would be very cheap because they need to buy that with their expenditures, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna buy Action Surge because it's cheap because of the way this works. But I mulled on it for a while and I was like, well, after 20th level, you get a ton of experience. I have I have control over all that stuff. So that's what I've been doing. I've been figuring out how to do like epic play, but like once you reach 20th level, you just get XP and then you buy stuff. So like if you want additional spell slots, you spend XP to buy additional spell slots. You don't just get like what happens whenever you go up in level. And
Right.
that's what you're looking at there. I did my basic number figuring. I need to like tweak it all. You can see it in like the big Excel sheet and like how the
Hmm.
breakdown comes down. Some of them were like pretty on target. Like the fighter was almost perfect. Adam was close. But like yeah, the warlock came in 90,000 XP under. So I gotta like figure out how to fix all that in the numbers, and I've been like waiting for that. And then my
Warlocks are
playtesters,
always causing problems.
yeah, fucking warlocks, up in my fucking business. And then yeah, my playtesters wanted to do stuff in sober, and so I made I'm 80% done with like a companion book of like here's the Imperial siblings from the Great Prehistory, and they're all CR33 motherfuckers. Um, yeah,
Do.
so I'm gonna start playtesting it. I think in about 2 weeks, and I think in about a week I'm gonna crunch down and like actually figure out how to fix all these number values so they are copacetic.
You know, I will say, like, I think that doing that. I think like that would be an interesting thing for people who are watching. Just because like I know a lot of people get kind of scared of doing games past like level 10. So like hearing your feedback as like a designer slash like someone who's actually running games, like this is how you do it, like even past that, would be an interesting episode, I think, for a lot of people. Just kind of go like, oh, okay, like I am terrified that like at level 10, people can basically just solve everything with magic. How do you like keep it going? So I
It's
think it'd be fun, like talking about the design aspect, but also like the
Yeah. Well, and like also not just gamer or not just GMs but players, because like I mentioned, I'm
hmm
in a level 17 game.
eh,
It's kind of hard to see, but
oh
these are all my buffs for my level 17 paladin
mm,
slash fighter, and like it's a lot. Like we had a
hmm
big battle, so I have this whole like thing that's color coded to track all the things I can do and how many rounds they last. And admittedly,
hmm
Pathfinder's kind of an extreme offender with bookkeeping, but oh, buddy.
yeah, that was a part of the sell because there is another company I think called 2C Gaming, and they have their own Epic line that's like really big. They've got a whole ton of books for it, and I was like, well, the probably people want to play this but don't want to have like a tome like this just for that part of the
hmm
game, right? And like there were definitely people who wanted that. Yeah.
Clearly, there is a demand.
And we talk about in the book a little bit about like how to handle like the higher level stuff, and I'll just cut to the chase for you. The trick is to give them impossible tasks. That's
mm,
what's up, because they'll figure out a way to do it. Like Zan play tested in one of my 5e epic groups,
Yeah.
and what you guys had to build what was it, a 28-mile subterranean tunnel to drain Dagon's
Yeah,
lair?
Dagon had moved into our kingdom, and we kind of accidentally helped him do part of that because we were disasters. But we decided we were going to drain the lake, and yeah, I remember your epic stuff allowed us to take a second archetype, which was cool.
Yes.
Because our super smart wizard was trying to do all the math to calculate the gradient of the tunnel to make sure that it drained at the proper rate, and just whiffed the roll entirely. And so I took the ghost touch rogue archetype and was like, Ghost told me how to math better than you. which for context, Piers was the dumbest boy. Like the absolute, like he was, if Peter Pan became a pirate and also was just a himbo
And
entirely.
multi-class too. You were the multi-class
Yeah, I
guy,
was a
right?
warlock
Yeah.
because I had to have Tinkerbell,
Yeah. No, that's cool.
and also I had cool yo-yo until Dagon ate it.
And now I think you'll be able to pick up a third archetype using these rules, but I'm not.
Ah,
I'm not there. Like I've been letting it brew in my brain. My subconscious does the best work, so I've been letting it sit there.
percolating as we discussed.
Yes. But yeah,
Um, yeah, I would love to see Piers with even more power he can use irresponsibly.
I just think the idea of like, cause it also like after you've like mastered being a fighter, then like, why would you have to start as like a first level rogue? Like, why couldn't I just like continue mastering fighter and be like, yeah, also I figured out how to fucking hide quick. You know, like
It's a
it's
thing.
like why am I
Mm,
sacking so much power to go get this little thing? So like, yeah. I'm excited to see what the playtesters do with that.
Can I
yeah.
ask, just because this is a thing, I don't know why this is always a thing in my if I am playing this game
Mm-hmm.
and I am using like what you have made, is there a way for me to just like no sell immunities to stuff, especially aka poisons?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's ways to acquire immunities. I think there's well, I mean,
No,
inside
no,
of
no. Cancel out
oh, cancel
immunities.
immunities. Yes,
That is
Like,
an underrated mechanic you don't see enough of.
yes,
yeah, because like I've always been a fan of like poison related character concepts,
of
and then they
everything has
hit
poison.
mechanics.
Yeah,
Yeah, like you can't poison him. No, no, no. And I go like, well, I guess my poison specific character will just go sit in the corner.
yeah.
But yeah, like that sort of thing. Like I remember it was I think it was like 3.5, maybe with like the ice, one of the ice, prestige classes where it's basically, oh yes, like if you use cold magic, like you can like basically no cell certain things immunity to cold, and I was like, yes, yes, that makes sense. If I am an ice mage specialist, I should be able to like I know ice magic well enough that you can't just go like, oh, I'm icy, I'm fine. No, no.
You don't know my eyes. I got,
Hmm.
got all the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I dig that.
Yeah, that appears in I think a couple of the archetypes on epic5e.com.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I'm looking
Yep,
forward
there's
to this.
also actually a poison-based thing in this upcoming issue of the GPG because I'm gonna, pound that drum until it breaks.
Yay.
And I got
Yeah,
already one person
so
talking
synergy feat.
all excited about the Gullisks.
Yeah, I mean they should be. It's pretty great. I'm
I'm
going over the art today, so
really happy with how
The
we're.
Gauntlesks?
Yeah, so we play parts in the narrative end of Level Up. And one of the things we did was we replaced Mind Flayers, which are intellectual property owned by Wizards of the Coast, with creatures called
Mm-hmm.
Calcoi. Calcoi are these like
wasp.
planner
Mm-hmm.
wasp people. That's
Yeah,
the best way.
interplater wasp.
Planner
Yeah.
wasp people who use pheromones to control people and use them as hosts and like to make more Calcoi. And it's quite not great. They're opposed by the Fate Holders, which are also our replacement for Beholders slash Githyanki.
We've got a different Githyanki
Oh,
stand-in. We've
okay,
got
cool.
the
So
the Zevites.
the Zevites, that's right. The Fate Holders but the Fate Holders are the Beholder replacement because they're like giant like divination spiders with 8 eyes. So mechanically, they function the same way Beholder does. And
Yeah,
then
but they're super lawful Web of Fate vibes.
Mm-hmm.
yes, we use a lot of that imagery. And then the third part of the Triarch is the Gullisks, which we have not. This will be the first deployment of the Gullisks, I think, which
Yes,
are
they have been mentioned in passing.
Chaos Slugs.
Chaos slugs.
Yes.
Psionic chaos slugs.
Yeah.
The funny part is like I immediately like when you mentioned the Calco, I was like, yeah, 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 I know them. And then like the spiders, I was like, yeah, 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 I know them. Now that third one, that's the one I was just like, wait, I don't remember that one off the top of my head. But
Yeah.
like I've seen the art for the Calcoy, which
Oh,
I
they're
thought was disturbing and beautiful. So
yeah.
Indeed.
The robe,
Indeed.
the big flowing yellow. I think it's yellow and red robe, and then yeah.
Yeah, yellow
mm-hmm.
jacket sort of head, and
And
yeah,
then we
that's
worked
good.
Calcoy into the end of to save a kingdom. Well, I guess I shouldn't ruin it. I don't want to ruin the
Well,
book.
they're also at the beginning of To Save a Kingdom.
Yeah, and then one of the coolest puzzles in the book is a Fate Holder puzzle. Yeah. No, we did. That's shaping up to be very cool. All that stuff over there.
I remember when I worked on that. Like as context for people watching this now, Mike is actually one of I consider him like one of my mentors. So I was just like, how do I actually make a puzzle, Mike?
It's a fine art
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
But I
sometimes
was just
characters just get them, and sometimes they have no idea what they're doing.
yeah, and I've been that person in like one of the I think it was like for D&D where I showed up to like one of the sessions in a comic slash game store, and we were I think it was like something where we were like drowning in a cave and we had to solve the puzzle, and I was just like, none of us at the table were like smart enough to figure out the puzzle as like as people. And so like the person running it was basically like, okay, let's run some intelligence checks.
Yeah. That's what it falls
You
back
need-
to.
Running characters that are better than you is just par for the course. I think roles are an entirely legitimate way to go about it.
Oh yeah.
Did they just let the rolls solve it, or did they use the rolls to like give you clues to solve it?
Clues to solve it.
Okay, cool.
And so like and like for me when I was making like I was trying to figure out how to actually do a puzzle, I was just like, how does one do this without like while like as Zen pointed out, walking that fine line of like you want them to be difficult, but you also don't want them to be like, I don't know what the heck is going on. So I just remember like I think that was one of the reasons I remember that because I remember like looking at that as like an example and going like, okay. Dang it. Mike, help. So but yeah, like I will say as part of that game, what I have noticed is that whenever there are puzzles involved, it's funny because like the I would say like the person who is like the most savvy at a table often resorts to playing like a character that is not savvy at the table. So like they get it, and so like sometimes I remember it was one game I played, and someone just goes like, "Oh, I knew the answer the whole time," and I was like, "But your character definitely would not know. My character would not know."
I enjoy greatly playing super dumb characters, but one time I was playing a very ditzy pigeon boy in a party of people who it wasn't that they were dumb, but they were inexperienced players, and so they were falling into some of the classic blunders.
Yes.
And my character would have no particular reason to be aware because he was very closeted or like very cloistered.
Mhm.
So I'm over here trying to slide them hints. Like, should consider something else by chance.
We
Conveniently endangering myself was an option. So
Mm.
a dude offered to run the Vaults of Splintered Souls for us because we made it and he's a fan. And he made it in Tailspire. Well, we got quite a ways before we had to postpone it. But at one point you get this puzzle box, and the instant we got the puzzle box, every single player in the game went fucking nuts for like 30 minutes.
I didn't. Nope.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was just occasionally like, oh, this is over here, this is over there. The other Mike and Rachel, fucking, yeah.
Yeah, no, they they
We gotta figure
blitzed
this
through
out
that. It was
now.
very impressive. But I
Yeah,
was
no.
like, I'm just glad that I'm a high wisdom character and am not expected to
It's like,
participate.
oh yeah, this is the puzzle box they can solve as they make their way through the dungeon. Like, no, this is the puzzle box they'll be solving
Immediately.
immediately. Yeah.
The other thing you need to manage is no plan survives contact with the players.
That's true.
Yes. Yes. And it kind of goes back to that thing that Mike said talking about like higher level games where it's just like just present impossible problems. One of the biggest things I learned, especially for narrative games, it's not trying to figure out how people are going to solve the thing so you can be prepared. It's like give them a problem and then watch them do crazy antics and see what happens and like just know the motivations for characters so that you can like accommodate whatever wackiness happens.
Yeah.
Well, it's like have either of y'all played Brindlewood Bay?
No. What's Brindlewood?
It's Murder She Wrote the RPG,
Yes.
Oh.
where you play a bunch
Yes.
of old ladies in a book club.
Oh.
Oh yes.
But the thing about the mystery, because of course, you're solving a murder every time. The thing about it is that the game doesn't know what the answer is. The game
Mm-hmm.
gives you a bunch of clues, and your characters make rolls to discover these clues, and blah blah blah. And essentially, what it is at the end they have this freewheeling discussion where ultimately there's a difficulty rating, and they'll roll 2d6. And then for every clue they incorporate in their wacky theory that solves this mystery, they can add a point to their die roll. And if they succeed the die roll, that is the truth. It does not matter what weird, convoluted nonsense they use to get there, as long as they incorporate the clues and they make the roll, they are golden. And I think there's something to say for stepping back and not having to know the answer to the impossible thing or whatever, and just seeing what people get up to. Because, yeah.
Yeah. And like honestly, as a designer slash, well, I'm designer hat off, like game runner hat on. It's also a certain level of freeing of just like, oh, good, I don't have to know like the 18 different ways like this could like pan out and like plan ahead for like blah 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 blah. It's basically once I give them a problem, I just have to know like four things instead of like 18 other like possible things, if that makes sense.
Not
Um,
this, not this, not this, not this. Figure it out.
yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like if anybody ever has a chance to like join an improv workshop or even just go to an improv show or something, I highly recommend it.
Mhm.
I took a full semester of it in college, and it made me a way better GM. Like you don't have to give in to everything your characters do, but the degree of freeing it can be when you go, yes, absolutely. Tell me how that goes.
Quick
And
segue.
when you can just pivot a little bit easier when they do weird shit,
Mm-hmm.
because they'll do weird shit.
What's that game that you ran that usually only takes you like 2 hours?
Oh my god! It usually only takes like 2 or 3 sessions, to be
Okay,
fair.
2 3 sessions.
It's called The Demolished Ones.
Demolished
You
ones.
start with amnesia. It's set in the Fate system, and you build your character as you go. And the plot twist is that your past surfaces, and it's almost certainly not who you have built yourself to be. And this fucker, up, down, down, down here,
Yeah, it took
uh,
a little while,
it went on so long. It
it's
went
like
it,
10
it was fun, but
seconds.
it went on for so long. You punched a horse. You needed to cause a distraction, so you threw yourself out a window and punched a horse and said it owed you money.
Ours did owe me money.
So like never try and assume what your player's gonna do, because then they jump out of windows and punch horses.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Y'all set a building on fire while you were in it and then tried to escape through a roof. Not through a window, through the roof.
well, Ragman is bold and intrepid and does not fear flames.
Yes, yes. If your character decides to call himself Ragman, be afraid.
Yeah. I did it was called Friday Night Improv in Pittsburgh, and they had it in the beginning in the basement of the Cathedral Learning when I was in high school. I don't think they still do it anymore, but it was like a buck to get in. It was just like a bunch of college students, and I did that every Friday night for like 2 years. Um, Improv is fun, and yeah, you do learn to be a better cooperative like storyteller by getting up
Mhm.
and taking suggestions and just like running on this guy's idea or whatever, and then like sometimes you get cut short and like you need to accept that, and it's good for learning because like when you do this at the table, other people a lot of times they're just gonna not do what they're supposed to do or anything that makes fucking sense. So yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about how much it benefited me, but yeah, that's probably a big deal.
Well, it also helps to not see yourself like as an adversary as a GM.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you are
Mm-hmm.
collectively telling a story, and no, you don't let them always get their way, and sometimes, a character exits the story. But ultimately, you're all in this together, and you don't have to like have all the control. You can just yes and move on sometimes.
Yeah, I like that. I will say, like, one of the things that I like, I guess, setting wise for Scion kind of like highlights on that just because it goes, how like sometimes weird, just random stuff happens? That's called fate. Like the fact that you have three different people from three different pantheons that just so happen to like meet up at just the right time, that's called fate. And that's because fate is interested in cool stories. So then like anytime that I'm playing that game, I just go like, okay, what would be like a cool story? X thing is not important, so you don't even have to roll, you just get it. Meanwhile, you know what? I as fate think that this conversation that you're having would have implications further down the line. So let's make it interesting. And then like you just spin tension, like making things crazier and crazier. But again, it's like that same thing you said where it's not like picturing yourself as the adversary. It is collaborative storytelling. I want to present enough fun things to you that by the time that you leave the game, you are telling stories about the story that we told together.
Yes.
Do we have time for another like 10 minutes? Because okay. What is when I sit down to be the game master, the narrator, the storyteller, whatever? What my default mode is that I
Mm-hmm.
am an impartial like referee. I'm like I'm the PlayStation. They put in Grand Theft Auto 5. I am the code running Grand Theft Auto 5. They're the character. They're doing all the shit they're doing.
Mhm.
I don't have a choice. I don't have an opinion. I'm just there to facilitate whatever it is they fucking do.
Mm-hmm.
How close is that
Mhm.
to your guys' approach when you run?
Mm.
Because
I would say I am too attached to be the PlayStation.
too attached. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I feel bad. Like,
Uh,
sometimes, like, I remember fucking when Rafe Samurai, I was like, dude, I'm sorry, but like, he's fucking dead. Like, well, we had to
Right.
make you a new
Yeah.
character. Like, but I mean, at least it was a cool death. But like, yeah, like, I mean, I get heartbroken too. But like, that's what
There's
makes it.
value in that impartiality, by all means.
yeah. I think the key distinction is just because I remember I think the way to think about it, because like if you are the PlayStation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have played in one game where there was a situation where it was like, okay, all of us are inside of a forest. Inside this forest, there are like I think seven cursed trees. One of the seven cursed trees has is the one that you are looking for that will solve everything. And when I think PlayStation, I think which is what happened. We literally had to go through the entire forest from one tree to another looking for the right tree in like the forest. In my head, if I were running that situation, I could not be the PlayStation of like, all right, we're now on session 3 of being in the forest. You're now at the fourth tree. No, I would be the one who just goes like, okay, this is okay. Third tree was the one. Like if you ain't like, if I would move wherever like the actual tree was
Mm-hmm.
to whatever the next tree you were going to after the second one.
Yeah, they took a left
If
to
that
teach them
makes
to go
sense.
right. You just flip the dungeon around. Left is right.
Yeah, like I think like that's the distinction of just like one's more like if you're a PlayStation, like X cutscene happens when Y things happens. For me, I just go like, okay, like the goal is for you to find the right tree. I don't want to sit here watching you all like struggle going between the entire forest, actually doing hex rolls, checking out every single tree in the forest for to find the right tree out of seven. It's I want at like number 3, that is the magical number. Anything past that is just extra stuff because I want to keep the story going.
Well,
And I think it depends on what your players agree to also.
that's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because, say my Sunday afternoon game, like I have two experienced players, several folks who are less so, and to them, I am a tour guide. I am
Mm.
invested in them not making fatal mistakes because they
Mm.
wouldn't have fun with that. Like there are
Mm.
consequences, but like, I am there making sure they don't walk off the cliff unless they make it really clear to me that they for some reason think it would be way more interesting to walk off that cliff.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's like, I've run at the Four Horsemen Open, which is very much a survival setting. And in that, like, it's the step beyond the PlayStation. It's, Hal, who is trying to murderate you,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing. But I'd say I lean more towards the tour guide aspect, but that's also because of who I play with. So,
Mm-hmm.
So
like, I am here to facilitate them having fun, whatever that means.
when we do the flip, when we move the tree to a convenient location,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
is there not like a loss of some kind of authenticity that happens? And not saying that's
That's
not okay. I'm just saying like
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah,
I agree that there is. Yeah, it's
yeah.
how you view that trade off, I suppose.
yeah,
Yeah.
because nobody wants to
I
sit there
think
for 6 hours playing lumberjacks. I agree. I agree with that. I
yeah.
get that. But
Yeah.
like I worry that like at that point it's like, well then, why doesn't the invisible hand do more than just that? And then like are we
Mm.
even like do you really have agency anymore as players because the invisible hand provides?
Mhm.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think you've hit like a very interesting kind of point, right? Because in my head, part of it was that as a player, we were not opposed to going through the forest. We were not opposed to like checking out all the trees. I think the challenge was that not something interesting didn't happen at every tree. So essentially it was kind of it turned from here is a narrative about finding X creature in the forest that has attached itself to a tree, and it became more of a okay, we are now entering our fourth, fifth, sixth hour of rolling through like this forest, getting attacked every other like day, having to come up with solutions. And like what hit was we didn't know where in the forest the magical trees were. So like we had to find that. But then the challenge I think was when we finally did find the tree, which I thought was funny because like I think we ended up like out of the seven we found it on like the fourth or fifth one.
Oof.
Um, it was okay, but you don't have what you need to get into the tree. To which I was just like, I spent 3 sessions finding this random tree in a forest,
And
and
now
This
nothing.
sounds like
yeah, and
engineering
it was
problems to me. This sounds like engineering problems. Yeah.
yeah,
No, I get
yeah.
it.
I think
Well,
like it's
and
one of the. Mhm.
yep, I was gonna say I split some of this, and this doesn't quite address the and you don't have the tools. But I split at least a little bit of it in like, oh, you want this to happen? You're making this assumption.
Yeah.
Highs or lows? And I'll roll a d10. And if it's
Mhm.
high, if they picked highs and it's highs, then the thing they wanted basically happens. And if not, well, not. And if this was a high stakes thing, well, something bad happens now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yucky.
It makes me
But you were saying so.
I got fucking spoiled by hypercore because like the luck score, man. I just want to have it in every fucking game, just every fucking game.
That's fair.
Wait, what did you want to have?
The luck score. So like, oh, is there like a dumpster in the alleyway I can hide behind? I don't know. Roll luck.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
And the
yeah,
higher
yeah.
level you are, the more lucky you are, and you spend feats to get your luck. Like it's just very tempting to have this like narrative tool. But like that only works in a microscopic level. Like if you try to implement that at Pathfinder, it would never work. They need everything to work with Pathfinder Society,
Hmm.
right? That's
Yeah.
just too ambiguous. Yeah.
And I will say, like for more narrative systems, it's one of those weird things of like you really, it's like you kind of have to hold back more in those systems for things like that, just because part the struggle is part of the fun of the narrative, right? So like if you are in something like D&D and like you're kind of and like a lot of people and again players are different goals like of those three pillars like exploration, social and like, you know, actual combat. Like people have a different weight
Yeah.
to each thing. But at that same time it's just like okay, if you're wandering through the forest, is this fun for your players? Are they actually doing exploration or are they basically just rolling to get through the forest
Yeah.
if you're not actually finding things? But like to the thing about like luck, my big thing has been that when it's narrative games you kind of have to hold back on giving too much away because like the structure basically requires people to kind of like think through and like challenge the problems. And I know that like one of the things with Scion is like you can fail at certain things. Like there are moments where like your character does not die, but you do get taken out. So like failure itself is not something to be avoided. In some cases, like it's a way to move the story forward.
Mm.
So like if like let's say you got into a fight and all three people got like knocked out in the fight, okay, like this is how you end up with the big bad telling you like his evil scheme while you're being like held hostage or whatever, uh,
Mm.
rather than like okay, well you're dead, make new characters.
I see.
So
Alright.
oftentimes like if you could get to that point, you have end up in an even worse state that like you really really need to like figure out some stuff. So
Well, we have hit an hour and a half, and we got our
mm-hmm.
first spammer. And I
Oh
think
man,
that means
Oh
we're
that
moving up in the world.
we have successfully streamed on the Twitch.
Woohoo!
I sounded incredibly old when I said that. Okay. All right, we're gonna come back in 2 weeks. Is that the plan?
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
sounds good.
Any final thoughts?
Nope.
I think just thanks for you know for the people who joined us as well as the spammer who joined us, who was just so enthralled.
Indeed.
Um, you know,
I
thanks for
love
you
this
know our
show.
first. Yeah.
Robot Malaysia. Okay. And we're gonna go with this one.